Alright, hello guys, how's it going? In today's video, we're going to be talking about that potential upcoming major snowstorm. We have a lot of cool things to go over in this video. Now, before I get started with this video though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather-related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social media. I would also highly recommend that you check out our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comment down below. Anyway, for today's comment of the day, I want to know, do you think this snowstorm is going to happen? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll be picking one of those for tomorrow's video. Let's get straight into this video, and first things first, I wanted to tell you one thing. If you saw our post yesterday on our community tab, we're trying to be more transparent and make our videos even more clear and informative for you guys so you understand what our confidence level is like or what the odds are of a system happening. So if you stay tuned to the end of the video, I'm going to be releasing a new feature that I'm going to be doing on every single video from now on. So I think you're going to like that. It's a confidence tab, and it's going to let you know what my confidence is in any particular thing I'm talking about. So stay tuned for that and let me know what your thoughts are on that. Let's get into the simulated radar, and we're taking a look at that European model. And at 1 p.m. on Sunday, January 24th, we're only 5 days away now from the start of this storm. So we're getting a lot closer, so that confidence is actually increasing. It's still relatively low, especially with the details, but for now, actually, that confidence is increasing every single day. It still shows it. So we see snow showers for the Great Lakes and the plains as well. By the time we reach 7 a.m. on Monday, January 25th, that snow gets a lot heavier for Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, and even in through Michigan, with some freezing rain there on the southern extent as well. This is a very, very interesting storm. What we're going to do here is we're going to move on towards where this is going to get even heavier. We're going to see a secondary low develop. This system is very interesting. I can't wait to talk more about it. Alright, so here we are taking a look at about 7 p.m. there on Monday, January 25th. As you can see, there's two areas of low pressure now. So again, there's kind of like a secondary low, and it really extends this storm out from west to east. We see plenty of snowfall going on for the Great Lakes still, but also in through the interior northeastern United States as well. So let's just go ahead and kind of zoom out and extend it all the way to the East Coast, and you can see some moderate to heavy snowfall going on for Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey. This could be further north or further south as we move forward. So this model, I don't want you guys to feel like this is set in stone, this track. Previously, over the past few runs, they've been showing this a lot further north. So this is actually further south than they have been showing it. So if you're in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, take it with a grain of salt. I don't want you guys to get your hopes up too high because this is a lower confidence type scenario, and the details are still in the works, like I said. So I want you guys to remain taking this with a grain of salt for sure. By the time we reach 7 a.m. there on Tuesday, January 26th, you can see very heavy snowfall actually for Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and then it kind of switches over to ice for Ohio. Don't know why that is, but we're going to be watching for that. And then also in Pennsylvania, we see a lot of ice going on as well. But for the northern portion of Pennsylvania, we do see some heavier snowfall. Same story with northern New Jersey there and most of New York as well. We can see that snowfall moving into southern New England as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on, and we're just going to close out this model. So we're going to take a look at the end of the European model, and then we're going to take a look at the GFS, and then eventually the Canadian as well, and get into the snowfall totals according to these models as well towards the end of the video. So this is by about, I would say, 1 p.m. there on Tuesday, January 26th. So now we're about 7 days from the end of the storm. We're 7 days away from the end of the storm there. So confidence is increasing. I've always said within the 5 to 7 day range, we kind of have a good idea of whether there will be a storm or not, but the details are still definitely in the works up until about 2 or 3 days out. That's when we will feel really good about where it's going to be and how much snow could fall. But for now, we know there's going to be a storm, and that's basically where we're at. Well, we don't even know for sure, but it's very confident that there will be some sort of storm at this point. The details is really what just has not been worked out. So we see moderate to heavy snowfall for Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, New England. So look, in Ohio, we were looking at freezing rain, and then it eventually switches to snow on this model. So you will be seeing kind of a palette of all sorts of different types of frozen precipitation there. And we close out the storm by about 7 p.m. there on Tuesday, January 26th, with some snow showers still for New England and kind of just the interior mid-Atlantic and even some of the coastal regions as well. Let's take a look at that GFS quickly, and as we can see, it starts out in the upper Midwest, just like the European model, with some moderate snowfall potentially. But by the time we reach maybe about 3 a.m. there on Monday, January 25th, you could see this storm really keeps the snowfall lighter and much further north there with some freezing rain still, and it's much weaker by the time it reaches the coast. The one thing to note here is it actually does have it in a very similar location, so that is kind of supporting the European as far as the location, but really just a different storm in general. And then by the time it reached 7 a.m. there on Tuesday, January 26th, it shows a second one come through, a second weaker one, and then even a third weaker one by the time we reach the afternoon hour on the 27th. So the European model pulls all that energy together and makes one big snowstorm. The GFS keeps three separate smaller and weaker storms. That's kind of the difference we're taking a look at. Either way, both show snow of some fashion. Then by the time we reach about 2 or 3 a.m. there on Thursday, January 28th, it even extends that third one even further south, bringing snowfall to Virginia potentially. Take it with a grain of salt, of course. What we're going to do here is we're going to move on and take a look at that Canadian model, and then we're going to get into the modeled snowfall guidance for all three of these models after that. Very excited to take a look at that with you guys. All right, now here we are taking a look at that Canadian model. And this is by about 3 p.m. there on Sunday, January 24th, like I said. We see some snow showers up there for the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes as well. Let's just take this to about 1 p.m. there on Monday. We see some snow showers for New England, but really this model does not want to bring that energy eastward. It holds it back west, and we see that second storm develop. So this is kind of like the GFS model a little bit more. We see that extension of it. This actually looks a lot like the GFS, but what we eventually see happen, this is super interesting, guys. By about, I would say 3 a.m. there on Thursday, January 28th, this looks a lot different than the other models. It has a low pressure center digging down southeast there, located kind of over Georgia and South Carolina. Something is brewing here according to the Canadian model. Take this with a grain of salt. Of course, this is outside of 200 hours out, so this is very far out, almost 10 days. But look at this. 7 p.m. there on Thursday, January 28th. This model shows a major nor'easter beginning for North Carolina, Virginia, Maryland, D.C., the Delmarva, up through New Jersey. And I can tell you, based on this surface map, this would take this all the way up the coast through into New York and Boston as well, at least southern New England getting involved there. What are the odds of this happening? Extremely low. This is very far out. This is actually 240 hours out, which is 10 days away. And the Canadian model is probably one of the worst ones out of the three I've shown. It's between the GFS or the Canadian model. Most people like the GFS more than the Canadian model, and then the European model more than the GFS. I stand with that opinion as well. But it is fun to look at. Take it with a grain of salt for sure. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to move on and take a look at the total snowfall according to all three of these models. And then we're going to get into that confidence tab that I told you guys about that we're going to be including in each video. All of those things are coming up in just a moment. All right, so here's the total snowfall map according to that European model. As you can see, anywhere in the grays, you're looking at about a dusting, if anything. In those blue shades, we're taking a look at about maybe 2 to 6 inches of snow. Within those purples, about 6 to 10. And then within the pinks, we're taking a look at about 10 to 20 inches of snow. And if you look at northern Pennsylvania and portions of New York as well, there is some lake effect enhancement going on there. But that's where we're taking a look at about 20 inches plus in those pastel shades that show up. So that's really very major snowfall, obviously, when you're looking at about around 2 feet of snow or so. We're going to be watching for that. There's also 12 inches plus, definitely for Minnesota and Iowa there, according to this model. But again, the European model is kind of the outlier at this point, which means there's pretty good odds of this one being right compared to the others. But we still really need to work out the details, and the models are not in agreement by any means, which is lowering my confidence a bit. The only thing increasing my confidence at this point is that we're one day closer to the storm, and all the models are still showing some sort of snowstorm. So that my confidence is kind of moderate low range. I'll show you guys in just a moment, don't worry. Here's the GFS model, and you can see it's a little bit more scattered about, but still some pretty major snowfall totals for many regions. The upper Midwest taking a look at 10 inches plus within those pink shades. We do see that lake effect enhancement going on for Pennsylvania and New York as well, bringing 1 foot plus. Even the mountains of West Virginia seeing potentially 1 foot plus, and then even the green and white mountains as well. So yeah, there is some widespread major snowfall going on with the GFS as well. And then as we take a look at that Canadian model, it's kind of a mix between the two, I think. It shows a lot more snowfall than the GFS for the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. 1 foot plus widespread throughout those pinks, even close to 15 inches or more within some of those brighter pinks. And then with the lakes, it's definitely bringing 20 inches plus within those pastel shades right around the two lakes there. And then 1 foot plus within those pink shades that are up and down the interior regions of the eastern United States. And you can see the beginning of that nor'easter there, Virginia, Maryland, DC, where we can see 6 to 10, even 10 inches plus within those pinks. That's going to be a lot more if that was to play out that way. I don't think it will, but this would be widespread 1 foot plus up and down the East Coast. If that storm was to play out that way, I really don't think it will, though, like I said. Now, finally, here is that confidence tab that I'm releasing today for the first time. I made a post yesterday on my community tab about wanting to be more transparent, wanting to be more clear, and I wanted to show you guys where my confidence is at every single video so that there's no questioning it, there's no confusion. I can show you guys in every single video how I'm actually feeling. So I'm releasing this. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Please let me know your thoughts, because I just, it's about you guys, not about me. So I'm trying to do the best I can to be as clear as possible. And this is where my confidence is now. You can see the lowest is to the left, the highest is to the right, and we're at about medium low there. We're at about a 2 out of 6 there on the confidence rating. So right now, the only reason we're not at the lowest is because we're a day closer, like I said, and all the models are showing some sort of snowstorm. So my confidence is actually rather high that there will be some sort of snow, but my confidence is lower in the details of what I just showed in this video. We're going to need to really work that out, and I think by tomorrow we will be on that orange shade, but we will see for sure. Anyway, again, give me your thoughts on that. We're going to get into the comment of the day, though. I asked you guys, when do you think we will switch over to a more active pattern? And Chief Lizard said, I think a more active pattern is going to be end of January and first half of February, when the supposed polar vortex arrives and the La Nina is also predicted to weaken and this major block still remains. The teleconnections look rather good, actually, throughout the end of January and through the beginning of February, potentially even getting better than they are right now. So my confidence that we will see a more active pattern in that time frame is on the rise for sure. Anyway, for today's patron highlight of the day, I want to thank you all for supporting the channel, but especially our platinum patrons: Sebastian Tao, John Bembenek, James Wade, Dovey Nagel, Alan Belemo, Adam S., Larry Lepan, Donna Carnes, Cameron Marshall, and Aiden Mattis. Alongside our diamond patrons: Bill Roberts, Alan Sherry, Marcus Connolly, Noah Harley, Michael Codalessa, Michael Buell, Terry Curtis, Catbite, Charles Stinnett, Kellen Manhart, It's Jay, Cindy Klein, Alicia Davis, Mark J., and Luke Vallejo. If you would like to be on our Patreon end screen, you can do so by joining our very exciting Patreon page in the description and in the pinned comment down below. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media. I will see you guys in the next video.